Hey ho und willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Genshin Impact. WM 21:9. Ihr habt einiges verpasst, deswegen an dieser Stelle auf jeden Fall hier oben jetzt beim YouTube-Player auf das i-Symbol klicken. Dann kommt ihr nämlich auf die Playlist und ihr solltet euch auf jeden Fall die Episode mit den Hexenzirkel anschauen. Der Grund ist nämlich wie folgt, was ich halt ziemlich krass kritisiere, ehrlich gesagt sogar. Es ist nämlich so, wir haben jetzt gerade im Mondstadt einen Festival wieder mit den Mondblumen-Festival-Ding, wie auch immer sie das jetzt genau nennen, und sollten hier Sucrose holen, helfen, denn sie wollte ein bisschen Hauch des Glückes haben, mehr oder weniger. Haben aber dann mit ein paar weiteren Gästen, die uns bekannt sind, halt ein Rätsel versucht zu lösen. Und als wir das geschafft hatten, sollten wir anhand des Rätsels versuchen, eine solche uns unbekannte und nicht existierende Insel zu erreichen. Also die Insel, die wird eh wieder ja, entfernt werden, wenn das Event zu Ende ist. Befindet sich ungefähr hier, die so schwebt, und konnten dort versuchen, das Rätsel zu lösen. Der Punkt ist allerdings jetzt wie folgt, dass wir zum Beispiel Klees Mutter wieder getroffen hatten. Natürlich auch wieder nicht in Persona, so wie beim Goldapfel-Archipel 1 und 2. Und die hat uns halt etwas über das Hexenzirkel erzählt. Und ja, das Problem ist jetzt, sie hat von vier Hexen gesprochen. Sie selbst sei auch Mitglied dieses Hexenzirkel. Von zwei sind nichts bekannt. Und von den vierten, ja, kann es halt sein, dass diese Hexe bereits mit uns gesprochen hatten, nachdem wir das Finale von Nahida gespielt hatten. Also alle, die den Arkenauftrag von Nahida verfolgt hatten, ich weiß nicht, Folge 670, 680, so da irgendwo um den Dreh, und Nahida gerettet hatten, sollten wir zurück zu unser Quartier kehren, schlafen, und dann kam eine mysteriöse weibliche Stimme, die zu uns gesprochen hatte. Eins auf, dass wir beobachtet werden oder irgendwie sowas. Und ja, wir wissen nicht, wer das ist. Kein Name wurde gesagt oder was auch immer. Wir können es nicht identifizieren. Und durch dieses Event hat man jetzt die Vermutung, dass das eine der Hexen gewesen war. Und was ich jetzt sehr kritisiere, ist, diese Stimme kam in der Hauptstory, diese Information kam in den Event. Und das heißt, alle, die dieses Event nicht gespielt haben, oder vielleicht nicht komplett gespielt haben, oder nicht so weit gekommen sind, oder was auch immer, die werden das nie wieder erfahren. Und gerade mit diesem Hexenzirkel könnte man eine ziemlich gute, parallel laufende Side-Story sozusagen machen. Denn wir haben ja schon erfahren etwas über unser Bruder durch Deins Life, durch die Aranaras indirekt, wobei das auch eine Vermutung ist, und durch eine spezielle Information von Nahida, dass man vielleicht irgendwie mit den Hexenzirkeln irgendwie etwas erklären kann, weil überall gibt es ja Abgrundmagier, und Magier verbinde ich ja persönlich auch so ein bisschen mit Hexerei und alles, dass man da vielleicht irgendwas aufbauen könnte, aber nö, wenn das nur als Event released wird, dann kann man auch schlecht eine Story damit anfangen, oder? Deswegen finde ich das ein bisschen schade, dass sie es so gemacht haben, aber nun gut, so ist es. Jetzt haben wir das zweite Problem. Wir hatten jetzt, also vor nicht so langer Zeit wollte ich pullen, hab's auch getan, hab dann immer die Tagesmission, achso, da muss ich auch woanders dafür gucken, auch die Tagesmission gemacht wegen den Urgesteinen, damit wir im Legendenauftrag die Schlüsselfragmente kriegen und da ein paar Missionen freischalten können. So, jetzt wollte ich eigentlich vor 4 Episoden oder 5 Episoden, weil vor kurzem 3.5 released worden ist, mit der die Storyline mit Nilou machen, weil Nilou hatte ich schon aktiviert. Die blockiert jetzt leider Dehas Zielort sozusagen. Das heißt, ich wollte Nilou machen. Und stattdessen haben wir aus Versehen nochmal in diesen ganzen Trupp Psynos-Storyline gestartet, weil das alles in Sumeru ist. Dann in der letzten Episode kam die Storyline von Nahida auf einmal noch dazu. Genau da, wo wir stehen, kam schon wieder eine Mission getriggert, was mich langsam so ein bisschen aufregt, dass sie alle solche Missionen immer an Teleporter setzt. Und helfen haben wir auch aus Versehen schon getriggert, aber noch nicht weitergemacht. Da waren nicht so viele Informationen jetzt bei den beiden. Deswegen muss ich jetzt mal gucken auf der Karte, wie darf ich überhaupt in Sumeru laufen, damit ich Nilou erreichen kann. Weil ich will nicht schon wieder alle Missionen irgendwie triggern und starten, weil mein Ziel ist es tatsächlich, alle Missionen hintereinander zu machen, damit wir, wenn wir Nilou durchhaben, endlich uns Dehya zuordnen können. Und naja, was immer machen. Also, das haben wir so blöd gemacht mit diesen Positionen. Ja. Keine Ahnung. Also wirklich suboptimal. So, wir wollten das machen, was nicht geht. Wir müssen hier hin. Das heißt, ich würde jetzt mal gucken. Folge Pedrosch zum Traummoment. Das ist das, was am Ende der letzten Episode sozusagen getriggert worden ist. Und wenn ich schon diesen Zielpunkt sehe, dass es in die Richtung geht, ist schon mal böse, weil wir müssen zum Basar und das befindet sich doch in dieser Richtung, oder? Wie soll ich denn jetzt dorthin kommen, ohne die Mission weiter zu triggern? Ja. Muss ich wirklich jetzt Parkouring machen? Ich muss echt gucken, wie ich laufen muss. Ach, hier geht's runter. Oh, gut, haben wir vielleicht Glück gehabt. Okay, das heißt, ich kann Nilus Missionsmarker aktivieren. Nee, das hier. Ich hoffe, das ist die richtige Mission. Moment, können wir nochmal gucken. Lotus Somno, wie auch immer. Ja, okay, passt perfekt. Das heißt, wir können dort dorthin laufen. Holy shit. Das alles direkt an jedem Teleporter ist. Also wir haben wirklich hier 3 Teleporter. Oder 4 sogar. Und 3 von denen hat fast instant eine Mission getriggert. Oder sogar instant eine Mission getriggert. Das ist einfach... Wieso tut man das? Okay, Nilou müsste da sein irgendwo. Ja, da steht sie.
Nilou, it's nice to see you again.
Oh, hey there, traveler in Paimon.
Are you here for some shopping too?
That's right. Although there were a few hiccups here and there, the Sub-Zerus festival turned out to be a grand success. And so, the theater wants to host a celebration event. Do you two want to come? It'll be a really fun time.
Wieder eine Feier?
It's something like a tradition of ours. Whenever we wrap an important performance, we'll get together and unwind. Rehearsals are exhausting. If you keep your nose to the grindstone, you're going to wipe yourself out sooner or later. Mr. Zubair, our manager, always says that celebrations aren't just for fun, but that they should also be occasions for reflection and review. But no one remembers that once the celebration starts. It's not like he can't also have some fun himself.
We've been to a lot of festivals during our adventures. Will your celebration also have lots of yummy food and drinks?
Of course. We always do lots of eating, toasting, and gift exchanging. We try really hard to show our appreciation for everyone.
Ah, so we'll need to bring a present.
Du willst dich doch nicht kostenlos durchfüttern, oder?
No way! Treat others how you want to be treated, right? Paimon already has a great gift in mind. But maybe you could lend Paimon some more of first?
It's fine. No need to stress, Paimon. You can come, present or not. The gift exchange is just to make the celebration more entertaining. You two being there would be the best gift of all. It'll also be a good time to introduce you to the rest of the theater.
Apropos, nach diesem Traum, sind noch viele Sachen passiert?
Is something up?
Nach der Tanzaufführung hast du keinen Ärger bekommen, oder?
You mean when I danced at the square right in front of the academia? Not a single person came after me. I left really easily. After that, no one came to the theater to scold me either. We actually gained many new customers, and they were all academia students. From what I can tell, in the past, if a student were to put off their studies to watch a show or dance, they'd be called foolish and irresponsible. But now, it seems like this attitude is changing. People are starting to believe that engaging with the arts can help them balance their moods, and through that, improve their research efficiency at work. Anyway, it seems like people have to personally experience something to gain a good understanding of it.
They should thank us for opening their eyes.
Hoffentlich ändert sich ihre Meinung gegenüber Kunst.
That'll probably take some time. They're still droning on and on about experimentation and proof. Will they really gain more appreciation for the arts if they continue to think of everything like that? Anyway, all that aside, are you thinking about coming to our event?
Paimon thinks it'll be a great time. What do you think, traveler?
Gut, es wird bestimmt lustig.
Alright, then let's head to the theater. Wait, I completely forgot about this pile of stuff.
Whoa, did you buy all of this, Nilou?
Just one box. The rest were given to me. I really don't know how it came to this much.
That's way too many freebies. Many vendors give out samples for free, but Paimon's never seen this much.
All I know is that whenever I start chatting with people, my hands would get more and more full until I can't hold everything anymore. This seems to happen every time. I was planning on making a few trips to bring everything back before continuing on with my shopping, but I don't think I'll have the time.
So this isn't even all of it?
Ich werde dir helfen.
Are you sure?
Of course! Carrying stuff is a piece of cake for her, right, Traveler?
I'm so sorry to trouble you like this. I meant to invite you to our celebration, but now you're helping me instead. Well, let's hurry up and grab the last few things, so we can get back to the theater.
An die Weisen. Oder Weißen? Ne, Weisen. Gott, endlich können wir diese Mission machen. Okay, bring die gekauften Sachen Nilou zurück. Wo müssen wir hin? Ach, da unten schon. Ah, ideal, dass wir hier das machen können. Weil ich kann wirklich keinen Schritt hier in Sumeru... Also, in Sumeru machen, ohne dass irgendwas passiert. Ey, das ist schlimm hier gerade.
Oh! Well, if it isn't Nilou!
Greetings, Mr. Jute. Do you still have any food that's ready to go?
Of course I do! I've heard that Zubair Theater is hosting a celebration event, so I've reserved some food for you in advance. Although, it looks like you're gonna need 2 more portions.
Please allow me to introduce them. This is the Traveler, a very experienced adventurer. And this is Paimon, her super reliable guide and helper.
No. Paimon is... hold on. She got it completely right. Look, Traveler, she introduced Paimon correctly!
Wie die auf einmal so... Warte, sie hat recht. Sie hat es richtig gesagt, so voll aufgeregt war. Das ist auf jeden Fall sehr selten.
Don't underestimate Nilou. She always remembers every last little detail about everyone, even if it sounds completely trivial. She's also very brave. Just a little while ago, she saved my precious spices from the jaws of a sumpter beast.
Don't think anything of it. I just help out when I can because everyone else takes such good care of me. Anyway, sorry to get off topic. We're in a bit of a hurry. Mr. Jute, did you say you didn't reserve enough food?
I was joking. Anyone who runs a business knows to keep some extra stock. After all, orders get changed all the time. Oh, that reminds me. It seems that these friends of yours aren't from here. Have they ever tried any delicious tachin?
Was ist das?
Ooh, what a fantastic idea! Mr. Jute, did you bake a batch recently? Tachin is a mixture of rice and meat that's baked into a cake-like shape. Mr. Jute adds special spices into his. Its aroma is just so wonderfully delicious. If you ever see kids crowding all around Mr. Jute's place, you know he's baking up a storm.
But is it really just for the kids? Don't you often follow them in too?
I just can't help myself.
We're 2 peas in a pod. Who doesn't enjoy some good food?
Wait here. I'll bring some over.
Whoa, what a dish! It's sweet and sour and full of deliciousness! Paimon can't eat it fast enough!
Sehr eigentümlich.
No matter how many times I eat it, it's still so delicious.
I wouldn't have offered it as a treat if I wasn't confident in the taste. I baked a lot just now, and it's all packaged and ready for you to take back to the theater.
You made so much. Is it really okay to take them all?
It was nothing. Making 1 serving or 100 servings is all the same to me. If anything, I should be thanking you for helping me clear my inventory.
Lass mich dir wenigstens Morag dafür geben.
Don't worry about it. What kind of person would I be if I made you pay for a treat? Make sure you got everything. Feel free to come back anytime.
Paimon's starting to understand how you got so many things.
Yeah. Everyone has their own way with words, and it's really hard to say no. Let's go to the next store.
Gut, machen wir. So, wir müssen ansprechen. Aha.
Nilou, good timing. I have the textiles you ordered. If you took any longer, the sumpter beasts might have gobbled them up.
You and your jokes. Sumpter beasts won't eat those kinds of things, Mr. Offsheen.
Jude said that some sumpter beasts ate his spices. Were they yours?
Oh, yeah, really sorry about that. Nilou, if it weren't for you, I would have lost half of my profits that month.
Trying to pull anything out of a sumpter beast's mouth is like playing a game of tug-of-war.
So they really do eat anything, huh?
Naja, sie arbeiten wenigstens nach dem Fressen.
What's that supposed to mean?
Come now. You know, sumpter beasts sometimes eat not because they're hungry, but because they like gnawing on things. The textiles you ordered are highly durable and woven from the finest thread. So even if a sumpter beast got snacky, it'd still have to chomp on it for a full day.
You've tested this before?
But of course! How else could I be so trustworthy? Well, that one time was an accident. I wouldn't dare experiment with such a precious product.
True. It does sound like some good fabric.
Ho ho! Have I piqued your interest? If you want to buy some, now's a good time. Buy 2 bolts and get 20% off.
Ooh, that's a pretty good discount. What do you think, Traveler?
No thanks, Mr. Offsheen. You can't use that kind of tactic on her. Look, you've already sucked her in.
Tactic? So you mean everything he just said to Paimon was a lie?
I wouldn't go that far. It's just that Mr. Offsheen is really good at spinning stories. A word from him, and you'll find yourself buying things you don't actually need. Mr. Zubair gave me a huge lecture the last time I bought too many things.
Das ist aber auch nicht richtig.
Come on, don't look at me like that. All she got was a talking to from Zubair, while I was nearly fed head first to the sumpter beasts. My philosophy is that stories give value to merchandise. That's why my business started with such a boom. Our Nilou here is an extraordinarily good listener. Back then, she believed anything I said. After a while, I began to feel guilty selling things to her because of how happy she looked. Though she enjoyed the stories and I the Mora, I knew she didn't need to buy that much. Anyway, since then, I've come to realize 2 things. 1, that stories should just be a means instead of an end. And 2, that there's more to business than just selling goods.
It's okay. We're all friends now. There's no need to dig up the past.
That reminds me. Some of the goods from my latest shipment aren't in the best condition. They're fine for general use, but my customers have high standards, and I don't have the time or resources to find new buyers right now. Nilou, why don't you take them?
Huh? No, I can't do that.
Just think of it as a favor for me, all right? The theater can use them for props and whatnot. It costs me Mora to store or ship, so I'm just losing money every day continuing to hold on to them.
Even so, let me buy them at market value.
Nah, these goods are hard movers. Besides, if I let you pay, wouldn't it mean that I'm just using stories to sell my goods again? Just take them. If you really feel that bad about it, give me some theater tickets later. Oh, yeah, you should also take some while you're at it. Adventurers are always in need of materials, right?
Wow, even we get a share of this?
Hurry and take it. Just looking at it all is giving me a headache. Thanks for the huge favor.
There's still one more store. Are you alright holding on to that much stuff? Paimon, why don't you lend a hand? She must be tired.
If Paimon were to refuse, would you then think less of Paimon than even a sumpter beast?
Wie nett sich Nilou um uns kümmert.
About time, Nilou. Farhad here was snooping around your props.
Please, I was only looking at them to get a better idea of what your new show may be about.
Wouldn't spoiling yourself just ruin all the fun?
Yeah, please wait for our official performance.
These two look familiar. I think I've seen them before. Ah, weren't they at the Sub-Zerus festival?
Yeah, and they're coming to today's celebration too.
Oh, the more folks the merrier. I was actually just talking to Farhad about also stopping by tonight.
Oh yes, please do. I'm sure Miss Raykar and Miss Nadja would also love to have a chat with the two of you.
We even prepared a small gift. Let me show it to you. Ta-da! It's a flower wreath. I really think we should wear some of these to give the event a more celebratory feel.
Wow, it's beautiful. Did you make it?
Farhad did most of the work. What a surprise, huh? He actually knows a lot about crafts.
That is pretty surprising.
Hey, why can't I have a little side hobby? I worked really hard on that.
I know. I watched you make it. I wasn't making fun of you. All right. Why don't you also try some on? We've got some wreaths in your size.
It fits perfectly.
They're so pretty! Is there one that Paimon can wear?
Unfortunately, we already gave out all the child-sized ones. I wasn't expecting the theater to invite such a fascinating guest.
Fascinating? Huh. That sounds kind of weird, but Paimon will let it slide.
Oh, you all sure got a lot of stuff there. Let me help you carry some. I'm a porter by trade, so this is what I'm best at.
That'd be great! Please and thank you.
Trägst du nichts, nachdem wir so viele Geschenke erhalten haben?
But we have a pro now.
Thanks for the help, Mr. Farhad. But let me make one thing clear first. Don't try to ask about what's in the new show. Otherwise, I may not be able to hold back Mr. Zubair this time.
You're so obvious that even Nilou saw right through you.
Shut it. Fine. It's not like I want to get on his bad side either. Including Hushang's things, though. We'll each need to carry a box if we want to move everything in one trip. Even my strength has its limits.
Paimon looks like she doesn't want to, so I'll carry a little extra. Although I may not appear super strong at first glance, I actually do a lot of strength training on the regular. Strength and balance are both really important for a dancer.
No, let Paimon. Paimon will help carry things. The Traveler's right. Paimon shouldn't freeload. Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some.
Mal eine blöde Frage. Kann es sein, dass jetzt wieder die andere Mission getriggert worden ist? Vielleicht mit der? Naja, jedenfalls, das steht doch nicht im Plan, oder?
We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Huh. So you two are still hanging out together. Dehya, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dehya to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dehya wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dehya. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes! I can't believe you can still refuse that!
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today, when you leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Dunyarzad was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
König Deshret oder Al-Ahmar?
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dehya. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Aber es hört sich nicht so an, als wäre er wirklich so böse, oder?
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
Du willst also nur herausfinden, warum sie plötzlich angefangen haben, viel mehr üble Taten zu begehen?
Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Ach, ich gehe mit der.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, she's super tough, so if she went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took her along to help.
Keine Sorge, ich gebe mein Bestes.
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, Stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow Mercs.
Blut der Löwen und wir haben tatsächlich jetzt ihre Storyline getriggert. Holy shit, wie gesagt, man kann in Sumeru einfach keinen einzelnen Schritt machen.
Are you okay, Paimon?
Paimon's good to keep going. But Paimon now understands when people say there's no such thing as a free lunch.
So, jetzt muss ich erstmal gucken. Gehen mit Nilou zurück zum Theater. In diese Richtung, okay. Oder aber vielleicht machen wir einen kleinen Zwischending. Nee, das nicht. Weil jetzt war jetzt so viel Dialog gewesen bei der, weil bei Nilou kann man sich das gut merken mit dieser Feier und so weiter, ein bisschen Kleinigkeiten. Aber das von der, das war schon so viel. Ich glaube, wir sollten doch in den nächsten Folgen der Storyline verfolgen. Deswegen würde ich diesen Plan jetzt verfolgen wollen, auch wenn wir es mit dieser Storyline angefangen haben. Deswegen würde ich auch sagen, weil die Episode jetzt auch wieder zu Ende ist, werdet ihr dann dementsprechend in den nächsten Episoden sehen und erfahren, was so alles los ist und so da drüben. Warte mal, ich muss irgendwie... Ach ja, die Tiere verfolgen ja einen. Ach Mist. Warte, kann ich mich irgendwie so hinstellen? So. Okay. Wie es dann weitergeht, werdet ihr dann dementsprechend in den zukünftigen Episoden sehen. Deswegen empfehle ich euch ein Abo dazulassen, denn so könnt ihr nichts mehr verpassen und gleichzeitig supportet ihr mich ziemlich nice hier auf YouTube. Folgt mir auf meinen Social Media Kanälen, die ich ebenfalls verlinkt habe, denn dort muss ich Sachen auch von anderen spielen. Ansonsten liked, dislike, kommentiert meine Videos, Fragen, Anmerkungen, was auch immer. Ich versuche es in der Regel zu beantworten und würde mal sagen, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.